Oh, yeah. I was just wondering, when you were talking about, we opened up the show with reparations for white people.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your opinion or is that factual?
So he has asked for restitution for white people. In my personal
Where did you
opinion,
say that?
I played the audio. I can't play it for you again. I played his audio. No, I'm not going to play it again. I played the audio verbatim, the words that he used. I put it on my social media account. He has asked for restitution. So I played it. I played it for you.
Restitution. He specifically stated white people.
So
He quoted white people.
in the comments that he made, he was talking about reparations for black people and the money. I'm not going to play it again for a caller, but he talked about restitution for people, and including people who are not minorities, because we all know when we talk about affirmative action and we talk about what the college campuses are doing, he's talking about people that did not qualify for affirmative action because of the color of their skin, which, by the way, are white people. And he was talking about restitution and giving some of that money back to those people who are not minorities. So what other race could it be talking about? I'll throw it back on you. What other race could it be?
Asian people who scored higher on test scores than other races.
So what you're saying right now is you believe he's not talking about white people, he's talking about Asian people. Is that your take?
I'm saying he's not talking about the color of skin. He's talking about the test scores. Period.
Okay, he is talking about color of skin because he specific. Yes, he is, because he specifically referenced.
He never said that.
What is affirmative?
Listen to what you're talking about.
What is affirmative action? What is it? What is it?
Affirmative action is giving people of color an opportunity. Mm-hmm. If they score lower on test scores than other races.
Okay, and
that's the definition of racism.
And he's not talking. That's the definition of racism. Okay, so you don't. So
you're
got you.
Okay, you're giving people jobs based solely on skin color rather than merit. That's the definition.
Actually, where can you say you're giving somebody a job? Just so, do you think Kamala Harris got jobs because of her skin color?
No, I'm talking specifically about the school. So if you get granted,
so let me ask you a question. So let me ask you a question. You think schools are just giving black kids scholarships solely because the color of their skin? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you have absolutely no idea. Then you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, and I'll explain why. Okay. First of all, that's one element of it. It also has to do with grades and extracurricular activities and family and where they're from. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. That's a part of it. And for you to say that they're only getting into college, I'm not finished yet, okay? Hey, I'm not finished yet. It's my turn to talk now, okay? You sound like an ignorant bigot, okay? It's not just about skin color. That's a part of it. And if you go to any of the colleges throughout the country, that's an element of it. You're making it sound like these people who run colleges across the country are saying, I don't care what this kid got on his test score, don't care anything about his family, don't care about extracurriculars. All that matters is he's black. Do you realize what a racist you sound like when you make that claim? That's not what it's all about, sir.
A racist because that's actually
true.
Oh,
really? I'm a racist. How am I a racist? Okay, so do you think black people and white people in this country are treated exactly the same? Why don't you answer my question? Does systemic Why don't you answer my question? Does systemic racism exist? Why don't you listen to my question and stop talking? Do you think systemic racism exists in this country?
You or me?
I'm asking you a question. That means you answer.
If you scored higher on a test score
Put him down again. I'm not asking about test scores now, you dope. Answer my question. Prove to me you're not a racist. Does systemic racism exist in society? Yes or no? Answer the question.
Higher than a test score than
I'm not asking you about a test score. Are you incapable, you ignorant buffoon, of answering a question? I'm going to ask it now for a third time. I find it very interesting that you won't answer my question. I'm going to try again. Do you think systemic racism exists? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, what a shocker. What a shocker. The guy's exposing himself now. He's probably going to his Klan rally tonight. So you think that black people and white people as a whole in society are treated exactly the same, whether it comes to our justice system? You think that black people have not been oppressed, even though they were owned, something called slavery, and you don't think that police officers at times have treated people differently. Let me ask you another question, since you seem like such an intelligent guy and so self-aware. If George Floyd was white, do you think the same thing would have happened? If Ahmaud Arbery was white, do you think the same thing would have happened? Answer the question.
I don't think there would be hundreds of billions of dollars in property damage.
I'm not asking you about property damage, you stupid racist fool. Answer my question. If Ahmaud Arbery was white, would the same thing would have happened to him? Would 3 white people have lynched him, and then would the whole community and the police department throw that case under the rug? Please answer my question, which has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter protest. If Ahmaud Arbery was white, would the same thing have happened? Yes or no?
You can't even stay on the topic of colleges.
You can't answer any of my questions, which proves to me that you are a bigoted racist. So I have one more question for you. Since you won't answer any of my questions about systemic racism, the whole reason why we have affirmative action, the whole reason why, if you're a minority in this country and you do well in school and you have grades, sometimes a university will say, we want a minority and want to give them an opportunity, okay? But you think it's only about the color of their skin, not about their grades, because you're a moron. So my last question to the moron racist who won't answer any of my questions, who doesn't think systemic racism exists because he's a racist, my real question for you, sir, is what time is your Klan rally tonight? What time do you put the white hood on?
I'm not in a Klan.
Yeah, exactly. You're a racist. You're a racist buffoon. You're a racist. Okay, yeah. Okay. You won't answer any of my questions. You say that systemic racism doesn't exist. You think that black people and white people are treated as all. Let me ask you another question, you racist bigot. Have you ever been pulled over because of the color of your skin, white boy? Have you ever been pulled over and a cop pulls you over?
Why do you hate Asian people so much,
Why don't you answer my question, dumbass? You won't answer any of my questions. Answer it. Have you ever been pulled over because of being white? Yes or no? Yes or no? I don't want to hear anything.
All the time.
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me an example of you being pulled over because of the color of your skin, you dope. You're a liar. You're a liar.
I hate Asian people.
Yeah, exactly. You're a liar and you're a dope and you're a bigot. Have you ever been followed? Have you ever been followed in an electronics store? Somebody thought you might steal something because of the color of your skin. Answer the question, you racist dope.
Man,
no, answer the question. Why won't you answer the question? Well, I'm going to ask the question again. By the way, it's not a hypothetical because I'm like you. When I speak to my black friends, they tell me that they have been followed in stores because of the color of their skin. In fact, if you go on YouTube, you can see some of these videos. It's not a hypothetical, you stupid racist. So why don't you answer my question? You don't want to answer it because it's never happened to you. You've never been pulled over because of the color of your skin being white. You've never been chased around in a store thinking that you might steal something because of the color of your skin. Give me an example. I would love to know an example of how you've been oppressed because of the color of your skin. Go ahead. I'll give you the opportunity, Grand Wizard. Give me an example.
Asian people are being oppressed.
I'm not talking about Asian people. I'm talking about you dope. Why don't you answer the question? I'm not talking about Asian people, you dope. I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about Asian people. I'm talking about you. Answer my question. I'm specifically talking about you, the racist bigot who called into this show that thinks the only reason why black people get into schools is because they're black. You don't want to talk about their grades. You don't want to talk about any of their extracurricular activities. You don't want to talk about anything. But then all of a sudden, when the conversation is pointed to you, a Mr. White Privilege racist bigot like yourself who calls into this show, who thinks that black people and white people are treated exactly the same in society, then all of a sudden, oh, that's a hypothetical. I don't want to answer that because you've never been followed in a store because you're white. You've never been pulled over by a cop because you're white. So I'm asking you a question. Have white people been oppressed? And have you ever been oppressed? And can you give me a specific example without lying, because I think you're a liar? Have you ever been treated differently because of the color of your skin or oppressed? Can you give me an example?
I'm not talking about myself.
Exactly. You don't want to talk about yourself because you're complicit and you don't seem to understand that there's something in this country called white privilege. That's why you don't want to talk about yourself, because you are complicit and you are completely out of the realm of what really takes place in society. You don't listen to black people. Just a random question. I'm just curious because you sound like such a well-rounded and well-versed individual. How many contacts would you say you have in your phone? It's a simple question. Do you have like 300 contacts, 400 contacts? How many people would you say you have? Simple question. How many contacts?
About 1,000.
About 1,000. Okay. Of those 1,000, how many people are black? I'm just curious.
Probably like 300.
Probably. Okay. So you're, by the way, I don't believe that. I think you're lying. But how many conversations do you have with black people when you say, hey, I don't think white people and black people, I think they're treated exactly the same? You have black people that agree with you. Yeah, you're a liar. You're a liar. Yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time. Well, here's my last message for you, because everything you say is a lie. You won't answer my questions. You claim you've been pulled over because you're white, which is also a lie. You have no understanding of how these universities work. But here's my I guess my final message to you. My advice to you is to speak to people that don't look like you. Listen to them. Even somebody like a Tim Scott. I don't know. Do you know who Tim Scott is? Do you know who Tim Scott is? You're aware with who he is, right?
Did Harvard not get sued by black?
I'm not
Asian
asking
people?
you. Are you able to have a conversation without changing the topic? You dumbass. Do you know
No,
who?
that's what I.
Pot him down again. You stupid idiot. I can't even have a conversation with you. You're so stupid. So I'll answer the question for you. Tim Scott is black. He's a Republican, staunch Republican. Tim Scott said he's been pulled over 10 times because of the color of his skin in a span of a year. So my question to you is Tim Scott lying? Or is he maybe telling the truth?
I definitely don't believe that.
You don't believe that. Okay, so Tim Scott is lying. All the black people in this country are lying. Gotcha. You still haven't answered any of my questions from earlier in the call, and you probably won't. If Ahmaud Arbery was white, would the same thing have happened? Yes or no? Why won't you answer that? Do you even know who Ahmaud Arbery is, you dope?
The guy in Georgia? I know who you're talking about.
Okay,
yes,
so if Ahmaud Arbery was white, would the same thing have happened? Why can't you just honestly have
if he was Asian, the same thing would have happened?
I'm not asking. That wasn't my question. Why are you obsessed with Asians? Answer my question, dude.
Discriminated against?
Why don't you answer my question? Why is it so hard to have a conversation with a bigot? I don't know. Maybe because they're stupid. I'll ask it one more time. If Ahmaud Arbery was white, would that have happened? Yes or no?
If you were black, would you have that show?
Why you don't answer a question with a question? You dumbass. I've had enough of you. You dumbass racist bigot. Should I give him one more opportunity to answer? I'll probably regret it because this guy is so stupid. He's such a racist. He's such a clown. Guaranteed, he's wearing his Klan outfit tonight before his little Klan rally tonight. But I'll give him the opportunity to answer one more time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is he still
sure,
talking?
Whatever.
He doesn't even know he's pod down. He's so stupid. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know he's pod down.
No, you just mute
he's
people.
So
you don't let
so
people
stupid.
talk.
No, I'll let you talk. If you answer one of my
debater.
questions, I'll let you talk. Pod him down.
Debater.
I'm a horrible debater, yet you won't answer any of my questions. See, when you have a debate with somebody, they ask a question, and then you ask a question. Let's give this a shot. I will ask you a question. You will answer my question, and then I'll give you the opportunity for you to ask me a question. Is that fair? Can we try that?
Another hypothetical question.
Another hypothetical question. So you're not going to answer any of my questions, but you say I'm a terrible debater. You know what, dude? Just F off. Have a nice day. Good luck at your Klan rally tonight. A guy just called into this show saying he's okay with restitution. I consider it reparations for white people. He's totally okay with that. He calls into this show and he thinks black people and white people are treated the same under any circumstance. That's what he said. He thinks that the only reason why black people are put into college is because they're black. Nothing to do with their grades, nothing to do with extracurriculars, nothing to do with the human being they are, their family, where they came from. But he calls into this show and he says, the only reason why these people are getting into college is because they're black. Now, the only conclusion I can have, and I called him this multiple times, is he's a bigot. He's a racist. And what a shocker, ladies and gentlemen. He voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's base, ladies and gentlemen. We had a guy calling up earlier praising Adolf Hitler. He voted for Donald Trump, openly a white supremacist. We just had a guy call into the show who claims that restitution, or as I would consider it, reparations for white people, which appears to be Donald Trump's policy, he's totally okay with that. Claims that he's been pulled over because he's white. Claims that he's been pulled over because of the color of his skin, because he's white. You can't have conversations with these people. They're extremely ignorant. They're bigoted in nature. And their orange turd hero is Donald J. Trump. That's why this country's in for trouble. That's what I think.